Hi everyone, Lazy Fire here. Welcome back to the Hate the Player podcast. We're on episode 23. Right now we're having a quarter life crisis. With me this week is Arnold.
No.
Yes. And Three Toes is out with the allergies. He was telling me that basically where he lives, it is already spring and it is fucking his day. It's clearly becoming spring up where I live because the squirrels are out, which means my dog is tired as shit right now. Because when I go outside with her and there's squirrels, I just like let the leash go and she just sprints and can't catch them. She's not
It,
that fast. She's fast, but she's not that
it,
fast.
in Florida, seasons don't really exist. I mean, some days it's a little colder than others, but everything's generally green all year. Sometimes the grass dies. I mean, that happens.
Yeah, but you
But
don't want
beyond that, and speaking of squirrels, our old dog, we had a dog and he died last year. He was
to.
he
Oh,
was pretty sweet, and he was a little squirrel murdering machine. He wasn't little. He was pretty fucking big actually. But this new dog we got, that it looks just like our old one, but it doesn't give a single shit about squirrels. So now there are tons of squirrels in our yard, and it's like, whoa, wow, squirrels. Anyway, yeah.
yeah. Never seen these before.
Woo.
When I went to school, I went to it was in a really kind of rural area, even though it was a pretty big university,
Mm.
and there were squirrels like fucking everywhere. My fiance told me that when she was in Temple, or at Temple, the university. I don't know why I always assume it's like a Jewish thing to say in Temple, but yeah, when she was at Temple University, she said the squirrels there were like they were the meanest city squirrels that had just migrated out into Temple, where there were some things. So it was like basically a battle royale. The squirrel will fuck you up for your crumbs. So like our squirrels were okay. They were like in trash bag, they had trees and shit. Temple squirrels were like, I've been part of a drive-by shooting. I will fuck your day. Like they were apparently very aggressive.
We had squirrels like that in Orlando. I went to UCF for a little while, and yeah, I know what you mean. They like you wouldn't sit at a bench to eat or like set your food down, or just out of nowhere. Where the fuck my food go? Then they'd stop. They would always stop so you fucking saw them. I swear to God, they would just look at you and be like, "Yeah, bitch, that just happened." Yeah,
Oh man.
good times.
Good times. Yeah, squirrel
Well, I guess
stories.
we know what the title of this one is. Fuck
Squirrel
squirrels.
stories. Yeah. Oh darn. So yeah, that's a whole thing. Uh, I wanted to mention that just because as spring dawns upon us, there is going to be a string of either podcasts that don't happen or that will not feature me, which would be a first for this thing, because I basically edit it all and have it all on my computer, and I can trust you guys at this point, but I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Now, if Three Toes can do it, like I said, my computer's still in pieces around my fake room
yeah,
here.
yeah.
But once, I mean, if Three Toes has the software, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be bad. I can just teach them how to use CallGraph, and we can do it all. It's nothing.
It's learning.
It's learning. Yeah. But yeah, I will be taking a short leave of absence for wedding-related things, and then my honeymoon. So it will be you guys trying to put this together, and you can see why I don't get this out till Friday sometimes. But then again, I have a fairly active social life sometimes too.
I like lying about myself on the internet too.
Yeah, I go play board games, motherfucker. What do you do on Monday
I
nights?
LARP. I LARP. Thank you very much.
I don't doubt that. There used to be a LARP group at my college, and you'd like leave the library, which I never went to anyway, so whatever. But you'd like walk out of the library, and there was this like quad area outside the library and the business school and such. And there would just be this pitched battle of motherfuckers with foam swords just swinging at each other and yelling. And it's like, holy fuck. I want to do that. And then like me and my friends would always go and see that and be like, we should do this. This is a really good idea. And we never like approached them or anything because it was like these people have crossed over from like being kind of geeky to being the geeks, and you can't approach those guys because you're going to feel awkward for approaching this person even though they're in the most awkward situation. So you're basically going, I want to feel awkward talking to the guy who everyone's gawking at going, why is he swinging a fucking nerf sword? And so we never followed through on our ideas.
Hmm.
That's my LARP story. We actually have you ever seen shoot, there's two of them, Monster Camp and Darkon or something, I think it is. There are these two there's it's these two documentaries about people who LARP, and Darkon is like amazing. You really have to go find that. It's on Netflix, I think, still.
Is it like one of those gathering of the Juggalo things that like try to make the people that I like to make fun of look like people?
No, there's definitely like the entire time these people are trying to like sound like they're sophisticated business guys or something like that. They're still sporting a fucking ponytail and like 1990s glasses in the year of our Lord 2008. So don't feel bad. Like you're gonna watch it, and it's like Darkon especially. There's one guy who's basically like given up like on his job and everything, and raises his kids full time, but also LARPs all the time, and like his life just looks totally sad. Like everything he has is invested in the LARPing, and so it's like his kids are there and they're like playing Ultima Online in 2008, and like oh my God, it's so you have to see it. I can't even describe it, but there's that guy, and then there's another guy who's like semi-successful and has a job and shit. And there's like, yeah, LARPing helped me learn how to, I lead a faction in my LARP group, and that learned taught me how to be confident and special, smart and social. It's like, no, dude, you still have a ponytail, and you think that's okay. You need to cut that. That does not look right.
Well, I mean, he could just get a fedora and maybe get a neck beard, a trench coat, some katanas,
He
and
seems
go
like
from there.
he seems like the kind of guy who already owns a collection of swords and fedoras to match the sword hilts. So, like,
They're not swords; they're katanas. Thank you very much.
you're different. Um, so yeah, the I would suggest going to see Darkon. Monster Camp's a little bit different. It's difficult to describe, but the highlight of the whole thing is the guy they want to run it the next year said he was going to be there so he could kind of learn the ins and outs of it. And then he didn't show up, and they finally called him, and he's like, "I'm on a raid with my WoW guild, and it's been 2 days." So he's like, he's been on a really long raid with his WoW guild that he didn't expect somehow. Yeah, that was kind of the highlight of that, and people like crying over the fact that they might not come back next year and stuff. Um, so yeah, go see those. Those are fun. They should be on Netflix still. I would definitely suggest Dark On if you could only do one. But
So, like Dark Con.
Dark On, Darkon,
Uh, okay.
like turn off the dark, turn on the dark. It's the new generation of wax on, wax off. Jesus. So now that I've made
Where's
that
Three
joke,
Toes when you need them?
to come in here and like verbally bitch slap me for that line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wish he was here. It'd make it so much better. He might have actually touched games this week. I barely. I played some Battlefield. I played a lot of Spelunky. I don't want to mention the game that cannot be named, but I totally beat it with Acrid. And
Hmm.
yeah,
See, like even just thinking about it just makes me sad.
mm,
Pretty sure I've said that like 10 times now.
yeah. But I gotta say, Acrid is a completely different character in how he plays than the other ones. I was very surprised I beat it. The
Yeah.
only thing that allowed
Oh,
me,
you beat it with him?
yeah,
Wow.
only thing that allowed me to do that was I watched Best Friend Skull. He's a poster on Something Awful. He's doing an LP of
Yeah.
he's doing an
Risk of
LP of
Rain.
yeah, and
Yeah, I saw that. I've been poking around the Let's Play forum.
yeah, starting to get invested in some of that stuff. Don't go into the sandcastle because shit went down in there
Hmm.
hard. I don't know if the sandcastle is kind of where like people test out posts and such and see if people like it. So two things happened there. One, this guy from YouTube came in, dumped a bunch of videos, got a mod challenge, like do these things or I'll ban you or probate you or something. And he actually completed it. So he posted another thread, and the mod was like, dude, I just gave you a challenge so you'd stop doing stupid shit like this. Go post it in the sandcastle. Post it in the sandcastle, it gets ripped apart, and people start like debating because he had a face cam and all this other shit. So people start like debating on what LPs are. This gets resolved, and as soon as that happens, one of the guys who did videos for the guys with glasses, it was a video series called Until We Win. He used to do that, and people pointed out that he used the word rape as like an adjective in anything, which is really frowned upon because it's like corner raping or something like that. And he didn't really respond to any of this, but he went to Twitter and posted about how he won't be posting the Until We Win series to Something Awful because they're a bunch of PC assholes. And of course, somebody found that, and like two conversations started molding into one, and it got like it's high drama now. And
Uh,
I want him to just go back to posting videos about games. I don't want like this pontificating about what's okay and what is not okay. If someone does a face cam LP that is good, then I think you can overlook the face cam. But
yeah,
the guy who was making the videos was not making good videos. And
yeah,
if you're not making good videos, then you should not like turn around and go, well, these guys obviously don't appreciate what I'm doing. No, you're doing a shitty job of making videos. Like
yeah.
the reason we don't appreciate it is because we shouldn't appreciate shit.
And we had this talk maybe back when we were even before we started the podcast that the number one thing with any let's play or anything is content is king. I mean, if you have something that's good, it'll succeed on its own. And if you have something that's like our podcast, then I mean, you're lucky if your mom sees it.
Oh boy. Yeah, I wouldn't tell my parents about this. My fiance has mentioned it to her parents as a way to leave the house before. Like we go over there, we're over there on Sunday, and it's like, well, we have to go to Brandon's parents' house after this. Oh, and he has to podcast. What's podcast? Fuck. You just told 54-year-olds what podcasting is. Now they wonder what I talk about. Uh, I should really start another podcast where I just talk shit on them because I like all the wedding stuff. Her mom has become like completely engrossed in all of it and was like freaking out because I was putting stuff together for the envelopes. And it's like, no, no, you have to switch the way that's facing or it's not going to be right. No one's going to fucking know. No one is going to know. But it took me half an hour to redo all of them because we have to invite 150 some odd people. So, uh, why am I talking about wedding stuff when we should be talking about video games?
Same reason we were talking about squirrels.
Oh man, because we have no direction.
I have an erection.
Oh man, yeah, you got to get off that phone and you get your computer rebuilt or something because that was
What
totally not what I was talking about.
is that weird?
Well, the fact that you have one, I mean, you're not supposed to talk about it, but no, it's not weird. I don't know why would you
I'm
think it's
sorry.
weird?
I didn't mean to make it. I didn't mean to make it
Yeah,
weird. I thought
no,
we were bros.
you're not supposed to talk
Bros,
about it.
just
Bros
being
don't
bros.
talk about that sometimes when they're
Oh,
podcasting. We like I clearly emailed you a set of rules for this, and you're just breaking them left and right here.
well, I didn't say throbbing.
Okay, well now you have. Like I missed that the first time, but you now like now you're gonna tell me exactly how many milliliters of pre cum you've leaked, and this is just gonna be too awkward after that.
Well, I mean, I
No,
switched
I
over
don't.
to empirical actually, so
Uh,
we're going for fluid ounces.
oh my God, I told you we're using metric for this podcast pre cum measuring contests. Arnold, I don't, man.
Moving on.
Uh, yeah. So, speaking of pre-cum, I got to play with a guy named Wiggity Bear on a furry server this week. So my first reaction to that was, so do you have a bear suit or are you just a bear? And so no one really responded to that. But the reason I mentioned this is because Wiggity Bear is somebody that we should all hate. Because here's Wiggity Bear's story. He graduated college with some certifications and degrees and got hired by Intel pretty much right out of college. Like entry level position started him at $62,000 a year. That was entry level. He did that for a little while and then gave up so he could focus on his live streaming revenues.
Wait. How much did he give up?
62,000 a year to start.
Oh, I mean that's a good living.
That's walking around money right there.
Yeah.
Um, so he gave that up. He said, "Nope, fuck this. I'm gonna live stream for a living."
I'm gonna ride this video game dragon into the ground.
Pretty much. I don't understand
Woo.
why he thought that was a good idea. or like if someone tried to talk him out of it, possibly. From what I understand, he had to go live with his parents for a while because live streaming was not paying, oddly enough. Um, so the thing with Wiggity Bear is that he only streams Battlefield games. So he did Battlefield 3 and he's doing Battlefield 4 now. But he only live streams him in a Little Bird. He will not play a map if there's no Little Bird on it. Uh, and it can
So
only
he's one of them.
and he can only play on two maps:
Let
Flood
me
Zone
let,
and
let me guess.
Dawnbreak.
Dawnbreak. Yep. Yep.
And if you shoot him down, he tries to reason out why it is that happens. So we
Because you're
got
shit.
yeah, well, he was going like 30-2 or something like that. But some goons knocked him out of the sky a couple times. One of them was amazing. I was watching the live stream. We're in it. We're in the live stream he did of that night when he got on the furry server that we were there to invade, and he just happened to be the same server. Then we stuck with it because the server was made of retarded people who did not mind if we team stacked or beat them to death with like
Well,
their own foots.
they're furries.
Yeah, right. They don't know. So that's why the pre-com was mentioned. But yeah,
Uh,
see. So Wiggity Bear, he the way he was
with a name like that, I'm sure he fit right in there.
right. That's why I asked the fursuit question. I wanted to know. I was like genuinely. I'd never seen his streams before. I'd seen people talk about him and like explain who he was. I'd never seen his streams before, so I was like, does he play in a fursuit? Like, how does this work out? Like, I want to know.
I just get the mental image of Pedo Bear playing Battlefield.
Oh man, that's a good one. So here's what happens with him. It's really fucking bizarre. If somebody subscribes to him while he's playing, he gets a cowbell out while he's dead. Like he all he does, he sits in the spawn screen if he dies in the little bird, sits in the spawn screen and furiously clicks deploy while he's selected on the dead little bird. Just like does that until he can finally get it. So he like basically if you try to steal the little bird from him, he'll make sure you can't do it. But when he's dead and he gets a sub, he pulls up a cowbell, rings it, and starts going woo 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 like that over and over again, and going new sub, woo 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 like that. And that was one of
Christ.
the most annoying things I've ever seen in my life. And I don't understand how or why that practice
He
came
has a
about.
cowbell.
Yeah, like I want to know where he got the cowbell, and I want to know why he has it and why that is what he does when he gets a new sub. Now, remember, with Twitch, if you subscribe to somebody, you can follow somebody and just like get notifications, or you can subscribe and basically pay to get notifications. You pay $5.99 or $4.99 or something like that. So $5, and I think that's like a 3 month thing. So he he did that, and that was annoying as shit. And but the thing is, he's like you watch it and you realize the only reason he can succeed is he has this like sycophant squad that gets in the helicopter with him and repairs him full time. They don't do anything but that and fire rockets at people. Like he plays support and then just like throws ammo crates down so they can always have stingers to shoot down the other helicopters.
Oh God.
Yeah, so he basically
I played against one of those types before, and what I because what you're describing, I played against a guy just like this, and he would I actually followed him around for a map because he was acting like he was great, and all he was doing was skyboxing and shooting down a little bird and picking off roof snipers with the little bird. And of course, he's running heat seekers and all that. And I told him he was a little baby for running heat seekers and all that. So after I used the 25 mil cannon and shot him out a couple times, um, he was getting pretty rectally frustrated. So when he got me the next time, I hopped on. There's a lock-on launcher
mm,
that is a one-hit kill.
yeah,
Well, I
with the
waited
battle
for him to
pick
pop flares and locked on, and then I started talking shit in the feed. I'm like, oh yeah, so good, lock on, baby, get some, and yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. He was
jealousy.
upset. I mean, the thing is, I've been a repair guy before. I mean, it's all right for like, I mean, a death or two. I mean, help your buddy out. He's trying to get lockouts, whatever, or unlocks and all that. But I just don't understand how somebody can. How long is this guy? How many hours does this guy have in a little bird?
Oh God, I think they said he's. Oh man, I gotta go find. I can find his stats on Battlelog, and I can tell you. Hold on. Oh shoot. But yeah, he only plays in that. And I mean, we've all seen people who have like vehicle preferences and stuff, but this is like impressive. I was in awe of how fucking weird this motherfucker was. Wiggity Bear does not have any information. I'm gonna check Battlefield 4 stats, but
Hmm. But the point I'm making is Battlefield such a big and just varied game. I mean, you can be armor, you can be the tank guy. Well, I mean, and you can do this all in just one round. You can be, hey, I feel like being in a tank. Oh, hey, I feel like being in a chopper. Oh, I want to fly a jet. Who the fuck wants to fly a jet? Um, or I want to run around. I want to jihad things. I mean, there's so many really, really fun things that Battlefield does so well, and to just like to I don't know, to just float around basically. I don't want to say it's cheating, but it's like what threat do you have on Dawnbreaker? What threat do you have on Flood Zone, where your only other threat is a chopper?
yeah, I guess he's got a mobile anti-air gun there. He
Yeah,
has.
on Dawnbreaker, there's the anti-air, but guess what? There are a million buildings. You can usually get away from the anti-air, and most of the anti-air is usually going to sit and spawn.
Yeah.
So nothing really to worry about.
Okay, so when I said that like he only does or he's never flown anything but or he never does anything but fly the little bird, let me clarify this. He does have 9 hours with the ACRW, an hour and
Ooh,
45 minutes with the AEK, an hour and 46 minutes with the CZ, and then like 30 and 40 minutes with other guns with no kills or anything like that with them. I mean, he's
what?
got 6 service stars with the ACR, so that's I guess okay. And he's got all the unlocks there, but like
But
20,000
how many?
shots with the ACR. That's his
That's
highest weapon. His next highest is the repair tool when he has 16,000 shots with it, which I imagine is him just repairing his own helicopter, by the way. But
likely.
if you want an idea of how much time this motherfucker has spent in the air, and remember, there are technically three scout helicopters in this game.
Hmm.
He has 275 hours, I'm just going to call it that for now, in the Little Bird. He has 91 hours in
Z11.
the one Z11, and he has about 20 hours in the other Z11 because the Russian and the Chinese Z11s are both counted differently in the game.
Right, right.
That is 386 total hours since December, or sorry, October in the Little Bird or other scout choppers. He has 621 or 622, let's say, total hours in the game.
So
That
half his
is
time, like over half his
over
time, is
half
in
his
the.
time in the fucking scout choppers.
Hmm.
He he has 395 hours or 396. I'm just rounding up here. Hours in vehicles and 26 hours with actual weapons. And 2,000 kills with weapons, 51,000 kills with the Little Bird or other vehicles.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see being a vehicle whore. I mean, that's fine. It's fun. But just flying around on I'd say it's probably safe to say that he only plays on Flood Zone or Dawnbreaker
Uh-huh. Yeah, those are
because
the two he's known for.
flying the scout or flying a scout chopper on Golmud would mean that I don't know, you actually have to have talent.
Uh,
But then again, Golmud's wide open and you're probably just going to get stingered to death. But I don't want to get into that.
well, I actually put together a video of later in the night on that same server where I was flying a scout chopper. I kept it up for a good 10 minutes with no repair guys.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the like I said, this was the furry team and they were goddamn idiots. So like they kept locking onto me or taking tank shots, but it took them almost the entire round to bring the mobile AA out far enough to shoot me down. I mean, it was it was bad. I want to go back to that fucking server though because they were so bad you could just trash on them. There was no auto balance scripts. There was nothing like that. The last night I had a miserable time because I joined. I was on the wrong team. I said fuck it. I'm going to team switch and be with the goons, and it was everything was good in the world. And then it team scrambled me to the wrong team next time around, and it wouldn't let me switch teams, and just kept saying like it's been too you switched teams too recently. So finally, I had to quit the game, and then I could come back in and then switch teams and be on the right team. But it was like, you know, I hate those fucking barriers people put up to playing with your friends in this game. When it's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna auto balance you to the wrong team because the script can't handle the fact that you joined on a friend. I got there's a video on my channel that is just me getting killed by an auto script over and over again
Yeah,
because yeah,
I saw that.
it was trying to balance out the teams by switching lone wolves. Now the problem was it was trying to switch me to a guy the server was already trying to switch. So it kept killing me and killing him and trying to switch us both and realizing the teams would become too unbalanced and switching us both back over. So every 10 seconds when the auto balance script kicked in, it would kill us both. It was like, holy shit. Like, why would you make something that would fight the game that hard and fuck everything up? But that's what some servers are. They're just like a bunch of shitty scripts and people telling each other to like, hey, switch teams and all this. And, oh, I can't because the script won't let me. That's kind of bullshit. Like, I'm sorry if a lot of it is people saying balance has to be attained, and it's like, well, listen, if I come in with 8 friends and we want to play on the same team, I fuck your balance. Maybe we're all terrible, like you should not you should not depend on us being awesome and say fuck it, we're gonna balance you to the wrong team. I want to play with my buddies. I don't care if I lose or win on a team. I'd rather play with friends than I like sit there and go like, well, if this puppy would stop driving me off the map, this would be fantastic. Which
Oh,
totally happened
that's
the other
fun.
day.
That's fun.
Mm.
Well, to be fair, I've driven puppies off the map too. Hell, that's something that started back in Halo 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Getting a warthog and somebody that you didn't want to be your gunner get in, and you just drive that bitch right off a cliff. And if you timed it right, you could hop out and just watch him go.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely a fun time.
Uh,
But yeah, like this guy Wiggity Bear, I gotta come back to this. He has a very um stated opinion that anyone who says anything negative to him in either the Twitch chat or the game chat is a troll and is not to be reacted to or listened to at all. So you'll see me like typing into the chat constantly in his video, like, yeah, more like wiggity bitch, give up a $62,000 job at Intel so he can stream for autists. And like word for word something in that chat, courtesy of me. So like I'm just like ripping on this guy, and other people are realizing who he is and ripping on him. And then at one point, he tried to. One of the things he does is he slams the little bird into people to get road kills to like as a humiliation thing. So he tried doing that to somebody and he missed. And
Tell me you got RPG'd.
no, even better, he got fucking pistoled out of the helicopter.
Oh god,
And
that
like
tastes good.
his reaction to that was fucking priceless. He was just like, I don't.
Hackers,
Where was
hackers.
he? I don't understand how he got me. Where was supposed to be? I don't understand. I was supposed to kill him and he shot me out with a pistol. You can't do that. Yeah, he fucking did, dude. He did it. It was great. He in the chat in the mumble, he was just like, I fucking killed him with a pistol. That motherfucker. And so later on, two guys started coordinating UCAVs, the airburst drones, and
Oh,
just
that's a
knocking
good
them out of the
time.
sky. There's another
Oh,
guy. There's another dude who is just firing frag round shotgun shells on him because those they don't damage the vehicle, but they damage the contents of the vehicle. So, like they're making life a living hell for this guy, and it was so amazing. It was just like, yeah, he went 30-2. His team's our team, I should say, still lost, but he was just getting like every time he tried to do something, he would have to go like leave and repair, because like by the time we realized who it was and we started coordinating against him, and I'm like calling out where he is on the map and shit. Yeah, that was entertaining. Like that was the highlight of my weekend probably, was just watching this guy basically like rage quit as soon as that happened. And people like, "Yeah, we wouldn't call you a bitch if you didn't like if you played different maps or you'd like join us on this." So I think the next map that came up was Jesus, Rogue Transmission, which doesn't have Scout Chopper. It
oh
has
no.
it has planes, but he won't get in those because those carry some sort of risk that somebody may damage him. Like these guys, we faced off another one, another guy just like him who went 30-0 in the Scout Chopper on Flood Zone, and and then somebody knocked him out of the sky with a well placed sniper round. Actually, I was kind of impressed by that one. Uh, and it's just like, why are you going to have fun doing this? Are you like, there's no fun in this. If you're gonna stream this, people are gonna get fucking sick of it so fast because like the only people who are going to watch this are the same like six people. So you might get an influx of viewers every now and again who are like, "Watch this amazing guy do all these helicopter kills," but no one's going to stick around forever if this is all you do.
Yeah.
And
I
it's not
mean,
even practical. It's not even practical. Like, you know how Wings of Redemption or Woody's Gamer Tag, when they first started, it's like, here are some tips and tricks on how to be better at Call of Duty. Well,
mhm.
Larry the Cable Guy motherfucker couldn't fucking keep that going. And this guy, like, you're not even watching anything practical. You're not going to learn how to be a better pilot from this guy because all he does is, like, get as close as possible to a building, scale up, fire a bunch of shots, leave, have people repair him, come back and do it over and over again until everyone's dead on the top of the building, wait for them to repopulate, do it again. Wait for them to repopulate, do it again. That's all he does.
The
So,
metaphor for life.
like, why would you watch that? Why is that entertaining? So, I don't know. I just wanted to get that out there. The guy is just a fucking train wreck of a human being and should at all costs either be annoyed until he leaves the server or ignored. Uh, like the fact that Intel was like, this is a stable person who we want to give $62,000 a year to work for us. And he turns around and goes, "Fuck all y'all! I'm gonna make more money live streaming. Mom and Dad, please help pay my rent." Because his he even has a spot for Bitcoin donations. So uh,
Oh.
he's making a lot of not money.
And thus we come full circle.
Mm. Oh, I played more Titanfall this week too,
Yeah. You,
and
you still got a good opinion of that game?
yeah, I feel pretty good about it. There were some changes made. They still haven't really integrated any sort of matchmaking, but like that doesn't suck because if you're on a losing team, you'll probably still be on a losing team. I was on two losing teams in Titanfall. We're playing Hardpoint, which is the domination equivalent, and the first losing team not only got their asses kicked every single time they played, but were getting killed like repeatedly over and over and over again. Could not make any progress. We're just getting like locked, or like any attempt to grab a point would be just met with utter destruction. The next losing team I got on, we all did amazing. We were like destroying the other team. I went 17-7 in a game, and that's a game where going 17-7 means that you are fucking elite as shit. And I'm like, but we're losing. And I'd like go and grab all the points I could and do everything I could to like hold on to everything. And it's like, no, I still can't win. Like I was, I personally had a higher assault score than I had a defense score by like a large margin. And if you look at like the caps, I had more than the other team did. Like my team had no caps combined, and it was just me on the points on my own, hoping for and praying that we'd win. And I'm getting like typing in chat like hard point. The objective here is to capture points, not rack up kills. And people were like, "Fuck you! I do what I want." It's like, dude, I don't play this to get kills. I don't want to be the guy. It's like so far above everyone else. It looks like all he does is kill people. I want to play this game and have fun in this game mode, which is all about like traversing the level and everything like that. And these guys are camping in corners, and I'm like, wow, okay, Call of Duty stuff coming back to me now. I remember why people stopped playing that game type. But yeah, I'm I still have a pretty high opinion of it despite that. It's more the players. But here's the thing about the players. They
Hmm.
uh they started splitting off the talent pools as it were. Um, and have activated a new type of lobby called the cheater lobby. And this is they're not going to ban you from the game like they do with battle log or anything like that if they figure out you cheat. What they're instead going to do is you are put into a lobby with other people who have been identified as cheaters. So if they've detected some sort of aimbot or something like that in your system or anything like that, they will put you in the lobby with all the other people who have aimbots.
Yes, yes, I read about that. That's amazing.
I think they
It's
did
like
something like that.
the Wimbledon of aimbots.
Yes. I think the actual press release from Respawn said, and once you're in this lobby, it's basically let's see who paid for the better aimbot, you moron. Like just that's what more people need to do instead of banning the guys on Battlefield who get caught aimbotting or something like that. Put them into a lobby with each other and just let the anti-fun begin because that's all it's going to be is just like we're too smart. But we're not going to get caught by Battlelog or like people who complain on Battlelog forums that the uh, the hack they bought doesn't actually work or something like that. Those don't ban those guys. Put them in a lobby with other people who are that dumb, and
Hmm.
let them fight it out for who's the king of the morons. It's just oh my god, just that was such a great move on their part. But I do really like Titanfall still. I'll probably be playing it every now and again when people aren't around, but I've been jumping into Spelunky a lot more. I'm still terrible at that game, but it's still a lot of fun to just traipse around the cave system and like try to figure out how not to suck. But
Hmm.
hey, whatever. Um, so yeah, that was kind of my week in video games. I didn't do a ton. I'm very near the end of the Battlefield 4 Let's Play though, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. That's almost done. I just got the last campaign video to do with Robot Randy. So he
Hmm.
he's he was on a multiplayer video I did where he and I were just talking basically bullshitting about Battlefield 4 for like 45 minutes. So it was pretty fun actually. I was happy to have him.
Hmm.
But yeah, that
Randall's a
was
good dude.
yeah, no, he's a fun guy to talk to. I actually had to cut out a pretty significant and long ass series of comments he made because he started naming other goons, specifically Slayer and Carmine, as being annoying dicks. And I'm like, I didn't say anything to him during this rant. I was just like, mental note, cut this out. Because all I did was I took out that section where he talked about how shitty those two people are, and I said, yeah, well, the thing with Carmine is that he was not a goon initially, and he followed people around, and blah blah blah. Basically, gave the short version of him being Carmine, and then went back to it. And then Randy made his first post in the thread, which is more people need to know the horror that is Carmine. And I was like,
that you know what? That was a special time. It
oh
really
man,
was.
when we had that guy to make fun
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
like,
Carmine, you're the only other person in my squad. Why are you on the other side of the map? I'm covering the spawn.
oh
God
god, that
damn it.
guy. That guy was something else in every game we played. I remember when he fucking had his meltdown in the Black Ops thread and just like people told him to shut up and he was annoying. And then Slayer came in to say he was annoying. And it's like, holy shit. We've we've reached peak irony.
I never really had a problem with Slayer. He's just loud.
I played with him a couple times once in Dead Rising and that was about it. Not Dead Rising, what was it? The one, the Dead Island, because
Ah.
zombies. Um, God, that zeitgeist needs to go away so fast. That'd be fantastic. Um, so yeah, the like I had to cut that out because it was like, yeah, we have to like maybe like not talk about people specifically in these videos because then it gets a little bit too far into the territory of like a hell dump sort of thing.
Oh
And I
man,
mean,
I miss
i-
Hell Dump.
if Carmine had a post history, he would be the first fucking person people talked about in Hell Dump. I promise you. Like if he had an active history that was anything worthwhile, that would be it. It was like just Carmine and talking about his fucked up teeth and his goddamn weird ass life and everything else. That motherfucker would be the perfect Hell Dump candidate right now. So what I'm saying is bring back Hell Dump. Make this happen, low tax.
Nothing can go wrong here.
No, this will. I will clearly not be called out at all. So it's totally fine.
Yeah, whatever, whatever. But yeah. So how did Wiggity Bear end up? What did it? You guys just got tired of messing with him, or?
He well, the next round was on, like I said, Rogue Transmission, and there is no Little Bird on that map, so he quit,
Oh, surprise!
which is what he does. This is his thing. I think they said he had a 45% quit rate, so nearly
Jesus.
50% of the time he leaves the game. So this motherfucker, like, if he ends up using a gun, is accidental, and it's just like, how the fuck? How do you even like make it through life if this is like I will only do what I am preferring to do, and if anyone like messes with me, I'll fuck them up.
I want
Uh,
ice cream for dinner, Mom.
yeah, pretty much. This is a small child lashing out at the world. Like there are some people who have said, okay, I'm going to quit my job in X industry or my non-career in company, and I'm going to play
Freudian
YouTube
slip.
video full times. Uh, and yeah, sure. Most of those people actually had income from those things. That was like, if I make X number of videos a day, I will actually increase my income and make more money from this than I do my job. And I can focus on this and do this full time. And like some people, that makes it seem like a really financially smart decision, which by the way, it is not. It's probably better to supplement your income doing these videos rather than doing it full time. But whatever, what do I know? I'm just a financially stable individual who happens to have a job. And like this guy actually said, "Fuck it, I don't have the money yet, but I'm going to quit my job because my Twitch superstardom is assured to come in." Once again, buying bitcoins and saying I'm going to be a millionaire someday is just about as smart a move. But hey, you'll never be able to spend those bitcoins without the IRS knowing now, so that's pretty fun. Come to our podcast where we talk about bitcoins.
Bitcoins. Hmm.
Oh my God! Of course, the IRS saying that they would treat their bitcoins are not a currency, but they will treat them like a commodity because they're not really spendable at the moment. Uh, oh man,
That's awesome.
that was well, no, that's
They're
the
not really spendable. Uh,
yeah. The better thing was it was the Danish National Bank or something like that released their statement on bitcoins and how they would treat them. And they said, I kid you not, that bitcoins have the value of glass beads. They're only valuable to the person you're trading them with, and therefore are not money or a commodity. They advised everyone to stay away from them. I,
but you see, the government's evil and lying to us. They have motive to lie to us.
oh, wait. Hey, how much are these bitcoins? $500? You told me they'd only go up. Why is $480? Actually, I should check the Bitcoin price now, but they were dropping the other day. Uh,
Who cares? It's not. It's. It's like, look at my sandcastle, guys.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
nice sandcastle.
Yep. Oh shit! Here comes the ocean. Shit.
No!
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
only we had bitcoins to solve the problem of the ocean.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, it's just it's hilarious to me. But there are these people are like now installing Bitcoin machines, or like they're allowing Bitcoin transactions at stores, and so Bitcoin people are going to these stores, they're seeking them out and testing. Excuse me. They're testing how the transaction process works, and basically it sucks because so the blockchain, the thing that like governs Bitcoin
God,
like
fuck.
transactions, okay,
Yes.
it can only take 7 transactions per second. And that seems like a lot, but you consider that that means that, and it only updates every 10 minutes. So if it can handle that many transactions per second, blah blah blah, it would take them over a year just to handle all the transactions America makes over Black Friday.
Wow.
So that's just one shopping day, and then everything else is backlog, right? So Bitcoin obviously not scalable, not good for an economy of any size. Um, but the issue that makes it very difficult to use it at a like physical point of sale is that 10-minute update. Because most companies, like you think about when you like buy coffee or something like that, you pay first and then they make your coffee and then they bring it to you and you've already paid. With Bitcoin, you like transfer your money, or your $2.36 for your coffee or whatever it is,
Wait 10 minutes.
wait 10 minutes to make sure that everything's transpired, and then come back and get your coffee. So, definitely the currency of the future. I can definitely see why people would think that this is a brilliant plan. I could see how you could think it's a brilliant plan if you've never like interacted with another human being, which is why everyone's saying, well, this near autistic man in California who loves trains clearly has to be the creator of Bitcoin. Probably, because if you've ever interacted with humans or bought anything in a store, you know that will not fly. But
Hmm.
yeah, that was Bitcoins this week. Bitcoins this week. That's our other podcast. Watch for it tomorrow. Uh, we should just start doing that. It's like this week in Bitcoins, what actually happened versus what they say it happened. But like the guy who sold his house for 600 some odd Bitcoins back when they were worth like $1,000 each, he has now like lost money on his sale of his house. Like, what the fuck's? Oh man,
So wait, you're telling me that someone invested in bitcoins made a bad financial decision?
who would have thought? But
Hmm.
uh,
Go on.
my friend almost got caught in a multi-level marketing scheme, and I would lie if this like Bitcoin did not sound exactly like one of those things where it's like I'm gonna go tell everybody that this is the best thing to do ever, and like you guys should buy Bitcoins, and then you have your Bitcoin value increase over time because you have more people buying Bitcoin. Only it happens on a larger scale on the internet. But one of the funny things that came out of the Mount Gox closure is one, they found that they had just happened to have 200,000 Bitcoins lying around, um, in a wallet they totally forgot about, which probably means that the guy who ran Mount Gox knew exactly how many Bitcoins he had and where they were, and would have probably just transferred. I guess what he said is, what was said was that they not only found them, they found that they had been sending out like sizable chunks of Bitcoin. So he was probably selling them, knowing full well that the bankruptcy protection courts were going to come find those eventually, and he just wanted to get rid of them before they did. So the guy was already like a shitheel, and now he's getting worse. But on top of that, it turned out that Gox had bots that were working behind the scenes to inflate the price of Bitcoin. What they would do is they'd basically buy and sell from each other using Gox money to trade coins out back and forth forever, and that would cause like these very regular spikes and drops in the price because the bots would occasionally freak out at each other and start selling and buying at different prices over and over again. So it's very likely that somebody estimated the value of Bitcoin, like what they actually were back when they were like $150 each, to about $4. Like each Bitcoin was actually worth $4, and they were just everything else was like way overinflated. So now they might be worth up to $16 each. So yeah,
God,
yeah.
God, the
Think about
people who like buy into this shit are just like painfully just fucking like it's like they're drinking the Kool-Aid. It's like fucking Jonestown.
Oh yeah.
That let like somebody came into one of the Reddit threads talking about how stupid Bitcoin is, and he said, "Let him mock. As usual, the markets will have the last laugh. Bitcoin cannot be stopped. It will grow like a cancer until it terminates state control of the money supply." Oh god.
Oh
Oh
my
god.
god.
Oh my god. I love Reddit. Holy shit.
Oh man.
Holy shit.
One of the founders of one of the CEO of Reddit actually said that basically Bitcoin is not real money and should be completely ignored. And Bitcoin people are like, "Oh yeah, we'll show you." And when Reddit is but dust, the only thing people will care about is that this is where the Bitcoin forum started off or whatever it was. Like people were really angry that he would say Bitcoins are useless and should not be used as anything but like basically digital toilet paper.
Oh god. And then somebody comes in and just fucking dunks on everybody saying literally hundreds of thousands of bitcoins have been lost to scams, which is a significant fraction of the entire fucking Bitcoin economy. Then somebody says, "So what? Tens of billions of dollars have been lost to internet fraud scam each year." Then he says, "That's less than 0.01% of the US economy."
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I actually got
Oh
into
god.
I actually got
Jesus
into a fight.
Christ.
I got into two fights in on Reddit this week because I like to go into the Today I Learned section and then tell conspiracy people and Bitcoin people that they're morons and they've learned nothing. Um, and I go in there and there's one guy who's like, Bitcoins are the currency of the future, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, they're not. Here's some reasons. And I'm like, well, remember all the scams? Like about 75% of Bitcoins have either never moved, been stolen, or have been seized by the US government. Like you can't have a currency that has that as a statistic. And like, they're really prone to scams and people stealing it. And so he responds with a Wikipedia article that is
Of course, a
a list of bank
Wikipedia article.
yeah, a list of bank robberies. And I'm like, yeah, but the difference between that and Bitcoin is that like those bank robberies, you can actually like investigate those things and get the money back. And also it doesn't take away 75% of the US economy. Just like, oh,
It, oh, and don't forget, dollars actually exist. Or, oh god. Never mind. Just fuck. I can't. No more. No
well,
more.
the funniest thing, I found this out this week. I didn't understand how Overstock.com they accepted Bitcoin. I didn't understand how they were like accepting Bitcoin and keeping that on the book. What they're doing is they're using a service called BitPay, and BitPay is sort of like an exchange. But what you do with BitPay is you send them Bitcoin and they go and use capital they happen to have on hand to buy your product for you, essentially using Bitcoin, right? But you still have to turn it into dirty fiat. Um, so that's how Overstock is getting paid from Bitcoin. Is there is no way for them to actually accept Bitcoin directly, so they have a deal with BitPay that you can use BitPay to buy items on Overstock. Why not just use fucking PayPal? Like,
Because then you're buying into the system, man.
oh my God. Just like the 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 dumbest shit. The CEO of Overstock.com, he actually is all up for Bitcoin. He's like said that as far as he's concerned, they are they're the future. They're the only thing that can help us in the future, or something like that. And Yeah, I don't know where he got that theory, but Overstock.com might be in for a really nasty surprise. There's just man, what was it?
As long as they're getting paid in fiat, what do they care?
Yeah, I
And
don't
that's
know.
no more saying dollars. We're going to refer to it as dirty fiat.
Yeah, we should. That'd be great. If we could just keep that train rolling. Um, it's like, well, why would you use anything but Bitcoin? It's clearly the currency of the future, and those people have never interacted with other human beings. That's all there is to it. So, are we pretty confident Bitcoin podcast 2014 is adjourned? You feel good about this?
Yeah, yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah, uh why would you even okay, sorry, I'm looking at something. I
Yeah,
uh
it
I,
sucks you in. It's like watching not watching a train wreck, but like watching. It's like each person is a little train wreck,
yes. That
and they're all like piling on top of each other, trying to outdo one another. And then the
yeah.
firemen, and then like watching emergency services come up and be turned away because they're part of the system.
That's pretty accurate. Why in the fuck? I'm looking at things I want to buy or put on our wedding registry while we're having this conversation because I'm deeply involved in it. Um, but I'm looking at this site that is seriously saying that it has these items available. It's currently not available online and currently not sold in stores. Why
Hmm.
why is it even on your website?
Hmm.
Why is it
Because it
even there?
it was it maybe it's like an tombstone.
This, there used to be an elliptical here. Now there's
Yep.
just Ghost Town. The reason I have to do this is because I was like, we should buy a new elliptical or whatever it is, because I broke our exercise bike, but not in the way of like I am such a fat ass that I broke it, in the way
Ah,
that like
right. Mm.
the metal of the through rod on the axle end of things snapped.
Wait, is that a metaphor for gay sex? I feel like
Yes.
it was a metaphor for gay sex.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
that there's anything wrong with that.
I like making metaphors for gay sex. What's wrong with it? Like I don't know, understand how it happened, but I took a look at it and I'm like, well, that's not coming out. And sure enough, all the instructions for how to like change the piece out, basically say, well, yeah, but you have both ends of this thing that are threaded, right? I do not. Oh well, then you're fucked. So I was like, oh good. Now I have to buy another piece of exercise equipment
Warp, warp.
because there's a gym down the road from me, and I have just like I don't know why I'm so afraid of it because it's like I could drive there. It'd take 2 minutes to drive there, but then I'd have to drive there. So why not just have this in my house? So yay! I get to go buy more exercise equipment. That's my life. It's video games and exercise equipment. Uh,
And marriage is, well, hopefully singular.
yeah, I told you that thing I said the other day, right? Where we were at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great
Yeah.
line. I
Yeah.
want to stay married. That's nice. Don't give me
I,
advice.
coincidentally, I don't.
Well, hey, you weren't at that party, so I didn't get to say it to you.
All right, man. Are
Yeah,
you about ready to put a bullet in old Yeller?
I say so. Let's take it behind the rocks, and we'll see some birds fly up afterwards. So maybe next week, Three Toes will be back. He'll have taken his allergy pills, and they were the non-drowsy type. If they are the drowsy type, I hope he does join us and just like rants incoherently for 45 minutes.
Did I ever tell you guys about Bitcoin?
I own like 600 of them now. I got really high on allergy pills.
I got hopped up on Benadryl and I thought it was a good idea, so I touched the poop. And
Yep.
now I'm rich.
Theoretically, in Bitcoin, I've got a lot of money. I don't know why we're giving him this genteel Southern accent, but we are.
I say.
I say, boy, I
Fog.
say.
All right, from now on, Three Toes' new name is Foghorn.
Yes, good plan. I like it. Let's do
Boy,
this. Boy, you don't know nothing. But yeah. All right. Well, that sounds like it's a wrap for me. You feel good?
I never feel good after this.
Oh, well, that's sad.
Oh,
Oh, bye, Arnold.
my erection's gone.